Hello and welcome to Small Time TV. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Woi Wurrung Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and give a very warm welcome to any First Nations people here today with us at Small Time and also streaming from your homes. Super excited today to be having a chat and a listen to the fabulous Spod. Welcome.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Do you want to play a few songs for us?
Oh, sure. Why don't we just fire up the band and play a couple of hits? Just drink some water.
Thanks for getting the memo about wearing pink today.
No probs. I tell you what, it's my favourite colour. 20 years in pink. And I still don't have my own custom shades, so I'm pretty disappointed.
Well, this can double as an opportunity for you to do a call out.
All right. And conversely, if you're out there, I'm open for any sponsorship possibilities. Thanks. Okay. I don't wear your shoes anymore, but I will if you give them to me for free.
Perfect. Let's do it.
All right. This song's called Becomes a Wife. It's about... I once had a girlfriend, and unfortunately, I don't have one anymore, but she is my wife. So we'll just play the song. That's halfway through the song, and this is the beginning of the song. There comes a time when a girlfriend becomes a wife. Gotta stop messing around and get on with your life. There comes a time when a girlfriend becomes a wife. 'Cause it's about time to stop messing around and get on with your life. 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 You gotta stop messing around and make a girl your wife. Now here we sit to put a ring on her left hand. She was once a girlfriend, and I was not yet a man. But now that I'm a man, I must make that girl my wife. Now she has to deal with me for the rest of our life, the rest of our life, the rest of our life. The rest of our life, the rest of our life, the rest of our life, the rest of our life. You gotta be a girlfriend again, 'cause she is my wife. Forgot the words in that bit. Keyboard solo. Pre-recorded. One thing I learnt is I cannot be trusted to do a solo properly live. So you record it on the track and you just have a bit of fun. Have a drink of water. So you set it up to allow the premise that you know how to play one. Yeah, she is my wife. She's my wife. She is my wife, 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 wife. Yeah, she is my wife. Yeah, she is my wife. She's my wife. She'll never be my girlfriend again, 'cause she is my wife. Hell yeah, that goes out to all the husbands and wives. So that's I kind of figured there weren't enough songs about wives in 2000s. It seems like a very 70s premise, and I tell you what, I think I'm the man to change it. This next song is about my fictional son who becomes a male prostitute. I didn't want that to happen for him, but he's not real, so it's fine. And I have a daughter, so who cares about this fictional son? The song's called "Make Things Right." I think I've pressed play. Who knows? This mic picks up everything. It's a delicate situation. G'day.
Hey there, boy, what's that thing you got? A little something for that tiny rock. I tell you what, you ain't no kid no more. You play the game and walk straight out the door. Out on the streets, no one's your friend. One wrong move and your life could end. Consequences for what you do. Oh, watch your face, so no false moves. Broken lights, shady guys. You're still in a rap, but you're not getting by. Pay the price for the life you lead, just to get what you need. Oh, hey son, you better make things right, 'cause you don't know you might die tonight. I tell you once, won't tell you twice. If you leave the house, you might die tonight. Hey son, you better make things right, 'cause you don't know you might die tonight. I tell you once, won't tell you twice. If you leave the house, you might die tonight. Hey, what's his name? He's got the face and knows the game. He's got your body put to work and doesn't care how much you hurt. Here's your die the other night, but he's not gonna make things right. He's just hanging around, doesn't care what's going down. Just another face in this crazy town, can be replaced without a sound. Hey son, you better make things right, 'cause you don't know you might die tonight. Tell you once, won't tell you twice. If you leave the house, you might die tonight. Hey son, you better make things right, 'cause you don't know you might die tonight. I tell you once, won't tell you twice. If you leave the house, you might die tonight. Gonna die tonight. Gonna die tonight. Gonna die tonight. I'm 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 gonna die tonight.
Marvelous stuff. That goes out to my Canadian crew. You know who you are. George Bush lives in Canada now. He's my best friend. And that's the end of the song.
Yeah.
Two songs off Adult Fantasy, my newest record. Came out last year. Great record.
It is a great record.
Thanks.
8 years in the making.
Yeah, pretty much 10 by the time it came out.
10 years in the making. And you've been writing, recording, producing your music for 25 years?
Oh God, who knows? 95 we started Spod, me and my friend.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah.
that's more like, yeah.
It's heaps long.
Yeah.
Way longer than anyone has a right to do this kind of stuff for. But guess what? Life's eternal.
Here you are.
Here I am.
He lasted 5 years and I've lasted another 20. And guess what? I reckon I've probably got 10 years before it all ends. And I don't know if that's my life or if that's the band. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
The band meaning you?
Yeah, I'm a band.
Yeah.
I don't know how to reference myself.
Band's good.
Band's cool.
So
yeah, I'm in a band. And so, what do you play? And it's like, barely anything.
And everything.
And everything. That's right.
So a lot has changed musically in the musical landscape since you started in terms
Apparently,
of,
yeah.
well, yeah, consuming, discovery, all of that's completely different now.
True.
Your creation is still pretty similar to when you started, just DIY. This Adult Fantasy, this latest album that you released last year, you recorded in a broken down bus in Tasmania?
Yeah, an old Mercedes bus that doesn't drive.
Right. And you did it
cool.
yourself?
Yeah, I just had a computer and one synth and a drum machine, and just I would go in the morning, and I wouldn't leave until I'd finished a classic tune. And guess what? I did it.
Yeah.
I think I was there for 2 weeks, so 14 songs, and then so I've got another record that of the same kind of sound as Adult Fantasy, but it's more depressing. There's all the depressing songs.
Yeah. So not like you're talking to your fictional son about dying tonight.
Yeah, no, not party songs like this record.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might put that out, I might not. Who really cares at this point? But I might.
We do. I do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll put it out. It'd
Yeah.
be pretty cool. So, but these days records, who cares? You just put out songs, right?
Well, that is interesting because, you're a cult hero to a lot of people. And, yeah, you are, a pioneer of...
That's definitely true.
Yeah, and people like Henry Rollins, Ariel Pink, like you have a lot of fans. Two fans.
Yeah.
Two pretty cool fans.
They're pretty cool, yeah.
So, do you sort of keep these two fans or any of us other fans in mind when you're writing? I guess I wonder if Spod is an island.
Yeah, I just hope there's people left to listen who care. And if there isn't, I tell you what, I'm jazzed. And if not, I'm having a good time. It doesn't really matter. But I don't know, I guess it's way better if people hear it and they're like, oh, that was cool. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Because I'm super humble, so I would definitely say thanks.
But actually, on a serious note, you're a writer.
Yeah.
You're obviously a wonderful musician, producer, director. I've watched quite a few of your videos that you've directed, and they're incredible.
Oh, thanks.
And also, a chef, an artisan, organic beef jerky chef.
Yeah. You got to spread yourself very thin if you want to do things in areas that make no money. So it's like music, videos. Everyone eats food. They're going to eat food forever pretty much. So I thought if I did a bit of food stuff, that'd be cool. But I keep that very separate. That's a very professional part of my life.
Oh, that's not Spod.
No, Spod has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
Yeah.
Because that's Spod's very irresponsible.
So, but do you, because being a cult figure and a pioneer potentially presupposes that you do a lot of this stuff on your own, do you have peers, mentors? Do you collaborate? Yeah.
I'm pretty lonely when it comes to making stuff. It's kind of my, it's a strength and a weakness, I guess. When people say, what's your biggest weakness? And then you tell them a strength, like in job interviews. But mine is I do everything by myself to a bonus and a fault. It's like if you have other people. Well, I've done videos with big crews and stuff and a decent budget. And it's so much easier. Can you hear the reverb? It's hard to...
No.
Okay, I've got heaps of reverb in my... It's great when I'm singing, but when I'm talking, I feel like God, and it's not a bad thing. There we go. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so like you got a big crew and you got a lot of help, and you can do a lot more in a lot shorter time, but you kind of lose a bit of yourself in it. Mm-hmm. And I would rather do something a bit more reduced in production scope, but a lot more sort of personal in what I like to see and do. Because there's a lot of anyone can get a bunch of people who know how to use equipment and put together a nice music video or something, or a great song. You can get good producers, and everyone has access to great sounding recording stuff. But yeah, like more singular vision stuff is what I'm more interested in.
Yeah. And it's interesting because stylistically you've recorded everything from like rock, pop, punk, hip hop, you know, electro. You kind of do everything. You don't seem to sort of conform to any one type of music style, you know, writing style or anything like that. And which is interesting because really a lot of the music that we hear today is pretty homogenous and you know, and so have you ever written with an audience in mind, been kind of, you know, in any way worried or conscious about how what you're writing is going to be received?
I think after my first record that got to me a bit, because I was thinking, oh, people want to hear the same thing maybe, and then I didn't want to do it. I had sort of no interest. So I tried sort of going further down that same path, and I was just like, this sucks. So I just didn't do anything for quite a while. Like I did a small EP, which was, basically a metal kind of thing with a few old songs on it. But then, it just sort of took 7 years to do the next record. Just because I was just, I don't know what to do. Like, because as soon as I get in front of myself and go, I should do this, it just sounds garbage to me. Yeah. But I'd rather just sort of start, when I do something, sort of music or video or anything, I'd rather start with a clean slate and forge into something before I know what it is, and then see it and get excited about it, rather than constructing something that's already there, if that makes sense.
Totally. Does the opposite ever happen when you're not excited and you...
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah. I've got hard drives full of that kind of garbage. And there's stuff that I've written which I think is probably quite... I have some water, you can hear this.
Just
hear my mouth.
Water interlude.
Sorry, guys.
It's better.
That's better. When I can hear what I'm trying to do, like I can hear them trying to be cool or something, there's nothing worse than when you listen back to something and you go, oh, you were trying to be like, I don't know, what's a cool band? Cut Copy, 2003. You know, just like trying to sort of jump into something, inner waters that at that time that first record was quite electro. And there were people around me doing similar things, but, you know, a lot more restrained and stuff. Yeah. And I just I'm not great at that.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't at that time. Like, it wasn't that kind of, you know, post-Daft Punk kind of thing. But I tried to kind of do it, and I was like, I was embarrassing myself. But I listen back to that now, I'm like, oh, that stuff's great. Because I'm not connected to why I was doing it.
Yeah.
So I did a bunch of stuff where I was a bit scared of my shadow, I guess.
Is that sort of to do with growing older?
Yeah. Like now I don't have any of those kind of problems. Like I'm looking a lot less at other people and going, oh, how would I get there? Or how do I make this something more successful or something like. I've never really thought like that, but you do kind of get wrapped up in the thought that you could do something bigger with what you got.
Do you have a measure of success as far as Spod is concerned? Like, you've been doing this for a long time and, you know, you're still pretty niche and cult and absolutely adored. And
well, I guess this is it. Like, as far as I'm concerned, if I can still do stuff to any degree, I'm just going to do it. Like, it's really because I just find it so entertaining. And I just want to see what happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So with Adult Fantasy, I did the whole record. I did a live performance of it, live in like a TV studio.
It's incredible. I absolutely encourage everybody to check out the live TV accompaniment to
thank you.
Adult Fantasy. No, it's wild, and it's live to tape.
Yeah, so we did it live. We got like 3 cameras, like big old Valve cameras and stuff, and recorded it all live to DV tape. And I just wanted to see what would happen if you did that. And like, you know, if you're thinking in any kind of professional or, you know, sort of, if you're thinking logically in what people want, it's not a 45-minute live performance of your entire record that has all these, that just sort of goes off the rails. Because
Yep.
the whole idea of it, I just wanted to start doing it, perform as hard as I could, and then just see if I can make it through and just film it. And I
Yep.
did have a pretty big asthma attack, and that was pretty good.
There are, I think,
I feel like I'm
35,
having now.
35 solos in there.
Oh yeah, so the last song, yeah, the same thing. That last song, Golden Gay Time, I got as many people as I could that are people that have inspired me or that I like to do solos on the last song. I just wanted to see how long I can make it.
Mm.
And there were more people who I was still dealing with, but I had to cut it off somewhere. But
Yeah.
like that's also, doing a 45-minute song isn't something that is you're doing because it's going to push you forward. But to me, it's completely interesting, and I guess my hope is that other people will find that interesting enough to want to sit through.
Yeah.
And from that, I've gotten a lot of really nice feedback of people sort of, who have listened through the whole thing, who were kind of surprised by where it sort of goes and how it takes them.
And the cameos it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, like getting Henry Rollins on one of my records is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Jason Lytle from Grandaddy is
Yeah,
massive hero.
Dan Kelly, I think.
Dan Kelly, yep.
Claudia.
Yeah, Claudia O'Doherty and John Early.
Yeah.
Just awesome, an awesome list of people.
And so
just what they did was, to me, that was so exciting because I would just tell them, here's the track. Do something with it or not. I don't care. Just send me back whatever you want.
Yeah.
And then so it was a constant surprise to me. And then, sorry. And then just, seeing how that developed and then how that feels to listen to as a whole thing, to me was, super exciting, and I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks.
And I guess like you're a musician. You have so much respect from the industry. I guess like in a more of a directive way to early musicians and people wanting to do their thing and wanting to play music as a career. I guess it would be awesome to have some advice from someone who's been doing it for 25 years plus.
Well, I guess the one thing that I keep going back to is to just, because you never really, it's hard to know what you want to do. And you can convince yourself you want to do something and it just not be what, you can look back years later and go, I didn't actually want to be doing that. So I just think just listen to your gut, listen to your instincts, and try not to look at what other people are doing. And then you'll just be happy with what you're creating. And then if you do get a burst of success out of that, at least you'll be pushing forward from the right spot. Because I know people who, you see bands who kind of explode by doing something that doesn't seem as close to their heart or something.
Or authentic or something.
Can you imagine being propelled into a career and being sick of it? To me, that would just be hell on earth.
Yeah.
So if you're propelled into a career, but it's something that it's just your gut, you have to be, doing this, and it's something that you're driven to do, then you'll always be fine.
Yeah.
And if that's, garbage, then you're really lucky. If you love making garbage, there's a lot of people out there who like it.
Yeah.
I'm saying that from myself. I love making garbage.
Well,
it's beautiful
lush
garbage.
sounding garbage, yeah.
It's like someone throwing out a Prada dress and it gets run over by a Rolls Royce. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, I just want to ask you one final question and then love to hear some more tracks. Just about, I guess, adult fantasy is the subject matter that you deal with is about, growing older and mortality and being a father, even to a fictional son.
There is, I do jest, but there is a lot of truth, especially in that song, of me having a kid and just being terrified.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what I wanted to ask about, sort of, Spod and, Brent merging. Does the kind of facade or the moniker come away? Do you kind of become more true to your own real persona? Because I'm just interrupting myself and you, but I've listened to and watched a lot of videos and read a lot of interviews with you, and you're always interviewed as Spod, and now, you're much more ready to be
Yeah, well, I'll never tell someone to call me Spod in an interview or something. But if most people are just comfortable doing it. And there are a lot of people in my life who I'm not sure if they know what my real name is.
Okay.
But I don't care either way. It's all the same to me. Like, Spod is so sort of close to who I am anyway. It's just pushing myself like into the red a bit.
Yep.
So you're hitting the VU meter and you're nice and chill. Then you just go into the red and then that spot. So it's like all it is just leaning into my compulsion to be a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
And
Does it give you that
it's
safety?
a very fun place to exist.
Yeah.
And so with Spod, that's just like, it's kind of following your best and worst instincts and really just letting go to it. So it's, with this album, there's a lot more truth in it than anything I've done, because I've done some ridiculous stuff. But that's not what, I don't want to just be, constrained to anything, because the next record's probably going to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever done. Or it could be really dark. I see no fun in setting those boundaries for myself.
Yeah.
So if I do become more closer to Bob Dylan's, and that's how it is, I don't care really.
Yeah.
I just want to be doing something that I find enjoyable to do from my perspective.
Awesome. Well, I eagerly await whatever comes next.
Cool.
Including these next two songs that you're about to delight us with.
Excellent. I find my asthma puff up because I feel like I'm having an asthma attack again.
Oh no. Okay. We'll just have a moment.
That's better. That song is called Asthma. This next song is from 2008. And it's called Cats. I'm kind of playing this because I brought my keyboard and set it up and then realized I wasn't actually playing any songs on my keyboard. So I'll play this song as I play this song on my keyboard. It's a cool song. I don't have to remember any words because the words are cats. Cats. I'm looking at a record by the Byrds, which is funny because that's the natural enemy of Cats. And I was reading all the titles in the last song and I kept forgetting all the lyrics, so that's why I'm playing Cats. Cats. Cats, 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 cats. G'day. Cats. G'day, guys. Can you hear me? Cats. Wow. Cats. Cats. Nice. Cats. Cats, 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 cats. 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 That song was called Cats. This next song is called Boys' Night, and it's basically about when guys go out. I tell you what, they're not the best. And this is kind of a dedication to growing up in the northwestern suburbs of Sydney and having to go out to nightclubs and put on shiny shoes and getting knocked back. And they say, you can't come in with your sneakers. And I'm like, guess what? This is who I am. And they went, you suck. And I went, no, you do. And then you get in there one day and then you realize it's hell on earth and you hate your friends. So you move out. You move to the city and make new friends. Actually, two friends are really great from the good old days. Hi, Adam and Nick. Oh, and Matt. Matt's pretty good. Anyway, they don't care. I tell you what, mate, life ain't easy. Living 9 to 5, so I'm gonna get... Oh, started again. I saw someone walk in, I forgot my lyrics. I've only done this song 4,000 times, so... This song's called Boys' Night. It's a great song. I think. I tell you what, mate, life ain't easy. Living 9 to 5, sweating and giving everything you got just to get what you can. To be yourself, a providing man for your wife and kids and your olds and shit. Cracking a sweat and taking the hits, but every now and then you gotta get one for you. So listen up, blokes, is what you gotta do. You gotta take your kids to school and work as hard as you can. Be nice to your wife and water the plants. Make a nice dinner, don't even try to go in her now. Call up your mates, cause this weekend's gonna be a winner. It's a boys' night, it's time for a party. Boys' night, just me and my buddies. Boys' night, and a couple of brews. It's boys' night, can't tell us what to do. Get on the horn and get Rob on the line. How you going, mate? I hope the wife is fine. Now where the heck's Pete? We got a job to do. Cheer on the blues and have some cheeky brews. Now turn off the news, cause tonight's for us. No cars tonight, we're taking the bus. We're gonna have some fun, we'll start in the sun. By the time we're done, it'll be long after 1. From the bull and bush over to the rocks, and straight to Macca's and up to the cross. Leave your phone at home, cause our minds will be lost. It's time to clock off, mate, your boss. It's a boys' night, it's time for a party. Boys' night, just me and my buddies. Boys' night, and a couple of brews. It's boys' night, can't tell us what to do. Boys' night, me and the fellas. Boys' night, no ladies to tell us. Boys' night, just what to do. Because boys' night is just me and the dudes. Girls say,
take it easy.
Girls say,
Don't make it too sleazy.
girls say just what to do. Don't say we're gonna look at other girls in the nude. Cause it's Friday night, we're getting smashed as and you see a hot bird, you're gonna try your luck. But don't tell the wife, she'll start with a strife and try and take my life with the butcher's knife. Now the rules of the night are plain and simple. Be a bit of a prick, but don't be evil. Spew in a garden, not in your hand. Smash a bunch of pints, watching cover bands. Now put a rubber on if you're having a pump. But be a good boy, Rob, don't be a mug. Cause you love your wife, mate, and she loves you. Cause she lets you do what you got! Boys' night, it's time for a party. Boys' night, just me and my buddies. Boys' night, and a couple of brews. It's boys' night, can't tell us what to do. Boys' night, it's me and the fellas. Boys' night, the ladies to tell us. Boys' night, just what to do. Because boys' night It's just me and it's boys' night. Thank you very much, everybody. Boys' night. Thanks for having me. It means a lot. Boys' night. It means a lot to me. It's boys' night. It's a fantastic show. Thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I don't know how this mic's now. All right. Boys' night, Spod. Thank you very much.
You. That was sublime. Thanks so much
guys,
to coming
thanks a lot.
into. Thanks so much for coming into Small Time TV, Spod.
Thanks for having me. It's been lovely.
I recommend everybody listen to Adult Fantasy right now and check out the accompanying TV special
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
It's kind of like TV, but it's just on the internet. So get the internet, get on YouTube, watch Adult Fantasy. It's great.
Thank you.
Watch this because you're already on the internet, so may as well.